Hi guys, and welcome to the Ace Tanker for the RU-251, one of the newest tanks in my garage. And this game was played at a time I was still testing the tank, didn't have the tank for very long, and was still just going through the testing phase, seeing what it was capable of. We are here on Malinovka. Our win chances aren't particularly high, a lot of good players on the enemy team. We're tier 8s in a tier 9 game. I'm platooned with Tonza. Tonza's in his T49, and during the countdown Tonza said that he'd be sniping and I should be doing some spotting. So that's what I'm going to do. It's Malinovka. Now, while the RU-251 is a scout, it's also a very, very good damage dealer. And to be honest, this is one of the rare scouting games I've actually played in the RU-251. A lot of my other games, I tend to play it a lot more like a damage dealer, play it a lot more like a medium tank, and do a lot more damage dealing. But not in this particular game. It's Malinovka, so I'm going to be doing some scouting. Here we go. So I'm still relatively new to the tank, and we're just going to be testing it out. So you can see the acceleration is fantastic. I'm up to 74 kilometers an hour. A couple of scouts on the enemy team, but I was looking at the sheets, or the score sheets at the beginning of the game, and I figured the enemy scouts weren't that particularly skillful. So I'm not quite sure what we were talking about in chat. I think it may have been around the time of the Gross Tractor review, which I did on very, very low settings. But we've just moved up into the bush. I'm doing my usual passive scouting thing here, getting lots and lots of spots. I think I've spotted about, I don't know, 10, 11 enemy tanks so far. Enemy team are being very aggressive over on the 1-2 lines, but I'm still doing the spots. And I'm holding my shots. But holding shots is always so difficult in light tanks. So there's an ELC that's managed to sneak up the 1-2 lines. He's going to be causing our team some problems. I'm hoping Tonza or someone can get a shot into him. But in the meantime, we're just doing some work here. So as I say, at the time of playing this game, I'm still relatively new to the tank, still testing it out. And tracking this ELC, following him, and then all of a sudden my gun pops up, and this is where I realize, oh yes, the gun depression over the back of the tank is incredibly poor. So even though the ELC runs into a rock, I have an easy kill here. I just don't have the gun depression over the back of the tank. Now our Jagdtiger 88 has just died. He's accusing the team of being a tomato team. He's one of the first players on our team to die. So of course, we are a tomato team. In fact, there were a lot of butthurt players in this particular game. We're going to be coming across another couple of butthurt players on the enemy team later. But yeah, our Jagdtiger. Oh, tomato team, because I was one of the first to die. So instead of retreating when he saw the enemy scout and falling back into cover out of his view range, he decided to sit in the open and died. But yeah, it's the team's fault. So really all I'm doing is I'm spotting. Tonza is actually getting a lot of shots in. Tonza has quite a big damage game here, sniping in his T49. And finally my patience runs out. I reckon there aren't too many tanks in front of me, but I'm wrong. So I take my shot. That's why you don't shoot when you're passive scouting. I get spotted. And you see the SU-122-44 down there. So I'll wait till I drop off radar. SU-122-44 is going to cause me some problems. So again, just pushing forward up into the bush. Still testing the tank, still testing the gun. I actually do want to do some shooting in this game, and I end up doing some shooting. But another thing I discovered with the RU-251, it's a great tank, I like the tank, but... Oh, I'm gonna use some bush mechanics, fall back, put some shots into the Super Pershing, but unfortunately miss. Don't know how I missed, but I did. Push forward again, see if we can get a spot. But another thing I discovered during this game with this gun is, while it is accurate, it's not incredibly accurate. My shooting wasn't great. Missed my first shot. Missed my second shot. Can we get him a third time? There we go. So there's the enemy scout taken out. And it gets me spotted. And yes, okay, I thought I was safe because the SU-122-44 was last spotted down in J5, but he's relocated. So now I know the SU-122-44 is somewhere down around H8, H9. So I've fallen back, taken some damage. But as I was saying, the big thing I'm getting used to on the RU-251 is the shell trajectory. The shell trajectory is really, really poor. It causes me to miss a lot of shots, and as a result, it took me a while to get used to this tank. My shooting isn't particularly good here. I'm trying to sneak shots into the side of the Super Pershing. And as you can see, the accuracy, not fantastic. It was kind of a letdown. It took me 3 shots to kill the Super Pershing. But snapshots, not good in this tank. Shell velocity, not fantastic. You can see it's a bit of a loop. It takes a while for the shot to reach the enemy tanks. Yeah, and I really, really wish the shell trajectory was a little bit faster. I'm missing a lot of shots here. Yep, so shots seem to go high, shots seem to go low. So that while the tank can snipe, and I've had better games with the gun in this tank, as I say, this is one of my first games in the RU-251, I'm still getting used to it. You see how high that shot went. So while you can use this as a sniper, you can see that the gun really is a disappointment. You hear a lot of people talk about the RU-251 being a great tank, and it is a great tank. It's got a great gun, but personally I find it a little bit inaccurate. The penetration on the gun is great, the accuracy not so good. 190mm of penetration, 240 alpha damage with the standard AP. It uses heat, 250 penetration, 240 alpha damage. So the ammo and penetration on the gun is good, you just have to hit the target. So I'm relocating. Tanza has pushed forward, taken out that annoying SU-122-44. We have an ST-1 and IS-6 moving down on our RT. Our ST-1 and our M103 are focused on their WZ-111. So really it's just me protecting RT at the moment. So I switched to premium rounds, get a nice shot into the IS-6, trying to aim below his spaced armor, end up tracking him, and now I'm shooting to where I think his driver's hatch is. But this IS-6 and this ST-1 on the enemy team, they're another couple of butthurt players. Get a nice shot into the rear of the ST-1. So they take exception at the fact I'm firing gold at them, but as I say, I'm just testing out the tank. Did I need gold for those rear shots? Probably not, but I didn't know I was going to have rear shots, didn't know I was going to have side shots. So the IS-6 is complaining I'm firing gold. Now the ST-1 is complaining I'm firing gold. And unfortunately I'm hitting the spaced armor. Need to hit below the spaced armor. And that one does, but it only tracks him for 0 damage. Again, don't know where these shots are going. Yeah, so the accuracy, not fantastic. Unfortunately, I didn't save my RT, but I have gotten the IS-6 and ST-1 down to 1-hit kills, and now Tanza's coming back up. So we just have to be patient. Scores, it's still a 50-50 game. Score is 11-11. So I'm down to my last 2 gold rounds. I've only got 7 AP rounds left. But again, I don't know if I'm going to be shooting at the front of an ST-1. Don't know if I'm going to be shooting at the front of an IS-6. And we put a shot through his driver's hatch. Yeah, IS-6 is still complaining. So I bounce on the back of the turret of the ST1. That's kind of disappointing. Apparently I'm an RU-251 Gold Pro. Now, normally I don't react to what people say in chat, and unfortunately in this game I do react, and I say something very, very nasty to these guys. Well, not nasty. I mean, it's something you hear a lot of other YouTubers say, but it's not something I say. It's not something I say on stream. It's not something I say on Twitch chat. It's a word I use very, very rarely. Tons is doing a little bit of taunting in chat, but I'm just going to blank out this word because, yeah, it's a word I don't use very often. I don't use it to describe other players, and I don't know why I used it here. But I've moved forward, I've spotted the KV-4. I know the WZ is up in F1. And unfortunately the KV-4 spotted me. I thought I'd get behind the bushes. I can't remember if we're doing it. Yeah, no mission. So this was before the personal mission started. But spotted the KV-4. He's focused on me. Now, could I have rushed in? Could I have gone for maybe some up-close and personal work? I probably could have. Tanza puts a nice shot in. He's ignoring Tanza. Look at this. He's just focused on killing me. So that's fine by me. I'll just keep retreating. Let my friendlies take him out. Thankfully, the ST1 takes out the WZ. So I'm just taunting him. He's continually focused on me. He finally turns his turret to take on Tanza, and then, yeah, we take him out. So that was my first ace tanker in the RU-251 and one of my early games in it. So in addition to the ace tanker, I also picked up scout and I also picked up patrol duty. So pretty much a perfect scout game for me. I always consider a perfect scout game a scout game where I pick up both medals. But yeah, decent game. I may not have played particularly well. I was disappointed with my shooting. But then again, as I say, I'm still trying to get used to the tank, or I was at this point. 1592 XP, left me top on XP, very, very nice XP total. Damage wasn't particularly high, 1743, 4 kills. Tanza had a decent damage game shooting what I was spotting, he picked up 2 kills. And he also picked up a Confederate, so pretty impressive in a T49. Yeah, it was a decent game. However, the gun let me down big time in that game. Whether it was, yeah, it was my shooting. I'm not used to the tank, or I wasn't used to the tank, and I wasn't used to the shell velocity being so slow, wasn't used to the shells looping so much, and I think the accuracy really, really let me down. I missed a lot of fully aimed shots. Shots went high, shots went low, so I fired 30 and I only hit 16, and even of those 16 I hit, I only penned 9. So the penetration on the gun is very good, but I just didn't get to show it in that game. That game was all about the assistance damage. I think that's why it was the ace tanker. Almost 8,000 assistance damage. I spotted 13, damaged 5, destroyed 4. And I did fire premium at those 2 guys who weren't very happy about it at the end. The IS-6 and the ST1, but it's very hard to predict you're going to be getting side and rear shots, especially when they haven't been spotted in a while. So I switched to premium because I wasn't expecting to get side and rear shots. I probably could have penned normal AP, but even if I had, I would have run out of normal AP and have had to have shot premium anyway. So the profit, or the credits, weren't particularly high, just 11,000. 2,388 XP on a ×5 event left me on just short of 12,000 XP. So a lot of crew XP earned for my RU-251. I think my crew went up by about 1, maybe 2% on their second skill. Yeah, the RU-251, it's a decent tank. These days, when I was playing this game, this is an older game, it's a 9.5 replay. When I was playing this game, I was just testing out the tank. Nowadays, what I tend to do is I tend to play it a lot more like maybe a Leopard 1 or a Leopard PTA. Play it because it has no armor, play it as a flanker, play it as a sniper. Actually play it a lot like the Comet. I put up a Comet replay recently, and yeah, this is a very, very similar tank. Use it for flanking, getting to the sides and rear. You can use it as a light tank or a scout if the map allows it, but other than that, you can play it like a flanker. Side and rear shots, use its speed, use its mobility, and as I say, as a sniper, it kind of let me down a little bit, but I'm getting used to it. I think I've had some better games in the RU-251 since then, but this is my ace tanker, so therefore it has to go up on the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'll see you next time.